So tonight we're going to get in the bottom bracket and get some wheels on and all the rest, and we'll go from there. Let's jump on it. Right, so as always with bottom brackets, always make sure you've got a good bit of copper slip in there. I'm going to coat just that inside shell as well in there, just to make sure that it's covered, just to stop any rusting or out like that. And we'll pop just a little bit around the threads on that shell as well. So, and then as always with any bottom bracket, if the frame's good and you don't need to tap it and it's fresh and it's clean, you should be able to screw this all the way in so virtually it touches the frame without having to force it. So if you're having to force it, back it off and make sure it's dropped into those threads nicely. So let's get this in. So as I said on the Specialized build, so on a drive side of a bike, it's actually to anti-clockwise to tighten it into the frame. So if you do want to find it drop into the threads, screw it clockwise and you should feel it just go bump into the thread. So we'll do that. So there we go. I felt it just then just go boop, just a little bit nicely in. So give my hands a little bit of a wipe and then all the way in, look, silky smooth. There we go. All the way up. Get your tool. Snip the rest of that up. There you go, that's tight. So bottom brackets 40 newtons, but you do get if you haven't got a torque wrench, which I have, but I do prefer to do these by hand, because if it's going to go or any issues, you're going to feel it as you tighten it. So we'll tighten that in. And always tighten up your drive side before you put in the non-drive side as well. So just half a turn. There we are. So that's the drive side in, and then we'll flick around and we'll do the non-drive side. Let's go. So with the non-drive side, you've got your non-drive side cup. This one's a nice clean one. Again, it's got just that little rubber seal just on the inside as well, and it's also got the black seals just on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of grease just around those seals just to keep the weather away. So nice dollop of grease. I'm just going to run it around the inside of that cup like so, and then just on the outside just a little smidge around just on there as well, around that edge, just to keep the weather away. Don't want water getting in there if we can avoid it. So on the non-drive side, the actual tighten it in standard righty-tighty. So it's lefty-tighty on the drive side and it's righty-tighty on the non-drive side. So again, back it off just until you feel that drop in. Now with the non-drive side, because you've already got that bottom bracket in there, what you'll find as well, because it does have a bit of Loctite on that, you will find that the actual cup itself will be a little bit stiffer into there. So, but again, you don't want to force it, so we'll try and get it to drop in. And then what you will need, so I can feel it drop in then. So there you go. So straight away I can feel it get up to that part there. So now what you want to do is use your tool and screw that all the way in, and you'll feel it just bind up to the actual inside of the actual bottom bracket itself. So I'll speed this up, so let's go. So as you just saw there, as I say, it has a little bit Loctite, and obviously that sleeve has got to fit in between the drive side and the actual frame itself. So that one, you won't be able to go all the way in by hand. That one's always a bit of a tool on there. So we'll wipe off the rest of the copper slip from in and around there, and on the drive side as well. And then what you're looking at is you'll find that the actual cups themselves, so this one is nice and flush to the actual bottom bracket shell, then obviously this one's all done up nice and tight, and so on from there as well. So that's the bottom bracket all in. Here we go. So bottom brackets in. What we'll do is we can get the shifters on, we get the grips on, and we can do some other bits. So yeah, let's do some more bits. Here we are with the next one. So I decided, because we did the video of the bottom bracket, well, I recorded the video of the bottom bracket, then I did the how-to video of the mech hanger, and then we're back here fitting other parts. So it's a bit like, so I uploaded the how-to with the mech hanger first, because that was a nice sweet little video. So now we're going to carry on, because obviously we did the bottom bracket, we're going to fit more bits, we're going to, well, let's get some more bits on. So what we're going to get on is, we have got the nice Shimano Dior XT combined shifters and lever, so they're very, very nice as well. So we'll get these on. So left hand first, we're just going to slide them on, let them hang. Right hand one, we're just going to let them hang. And then what we've got going on this bike as well, Ritchie grip. So these is, see, if I just push that on like that, that's going to be a bit of a nightmare to really get on. Now you don't want to use like spray oil or anything like that. So what I'm going to use is, I've got some acetone here. It's not damaging enough to damage the foam of the actual pad, so we ain't got to worry about that. And then what we're going to do, because you don't want to use any kind of grease or oil, because that grip will forever just slip. So it'll be on your bike like. So let's have a look. So what I'm going to do is not throw it on the floor. Is I'm going to just fit that down, move it around just a little bit. Here we go. And then quickly, before it dries, and I'm going to squeeze that on. And then what will happen after that is that will dry off, that will evaporate, and then in a very short amount of time that will be nice and tight to the bar. So we'll line that up, get the other one on as well. So we'll see where we are with that one. Let's get this one on. Bar end caps as well. See, these bar end caps have like a nice little logo on there. Nice little Ritchie logo. So we're going to make sure that these go in relatively straight. Beautiful. So get yourself a 5mm, and a bit like on the episode 1 of this channel, we're going to set up the front end and do slight adjustments as and when the wheels are on and things like that. So we're going to set these in just a generic place at the moment. Yeah, so I've left like a centimetre gap from that one. I'm going to do the same here as well. So you can do it by eye. Most of the time I do it by eye. You could be really anal and get the tape measure out and like measure the gap down to the millimetre. You know, usually I would, if it's for like someone that's doing like racing or stuff like that, I'd probably really go to town and do that. But majority of the time, if you've been doing it a while, you can generally look and go, you know what, that's perfect. So we'll knit them up. We'll do any final adjustments on this front end later on. When we get to near the end of this build, we'll do like a full front end adjustment check. So that's the grips on, that's the shifters on. Obviously we already did the rear derailleur, so I'll bang that on as well. Where is that? So here's the rear derailleur. So going on this bike, we have got the nice Shimano Dior DX, keeping it retro, and again, really nice condition. So, and the gentleman that owns this bike and owns the Specialized, I don't know how he finds this stuff, but it's retro vintage, no old stock, amazing condition. It's these bikes, wow. So let's get this on. I'm going to put a little bit of copper slip on there, just a bit of dab in there, and then we'll get this rear mech on as well. So let's do this now. That's a quick one. Boom. So for anyone like returning anyway, anyone returning to the channel, obviously you've seen the bike shed, and slowly but surely going around the house and finding all my bike tools, all my bike shit, and eventually the old place will be full, and I've been moaning about not having space and all that kind of jazz. So it is what it is. So get a bit of copper slip in there as well. Let's get my tool. That is just sliding in so nice. Oh yeah. So that's shifters on, grips on. I think on that note, I'm going to end this video here because it's getting quite late. And yeah,